Look at what's left behind. Almost nothing left of the car itself. The seats burned to ash. It was in the garage when it caught fire yesterday morning. It was about 8:30. The homeowner says her home is a total loss.
And General Motors is recalling over 140,000 Chevy Bolt electric vehicles. It will happen in North America because the carpet here could catch fire after a crash when a front seat belt pretensioner deploys.
Time-tested tactics used to put out car fires do not necessarily work for electric vehicles. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill learned about the growing safety problem today.
If you're planning to buy an EV, you may want to hold off on that plan for now. And no, it's not because of the price, it's because of your safety. EVs are blowing up around us, and not enough is being done or said about them. Take the case in Florida, for example, where a 2023 Mercedes-Benz EQE 350 Plus electric vehicle burst into flames while peacefully parked in a garage.
Look at what's left behind. Almost nothing left of the car itself. The seats burned to ash. It was in the garage when it caught fire yesterday morning. It was about 8:30. The homeowner says her home is a total loss. News4JAX consumer investigative reporter Tiffany Salome joining us live outside.
The flames wreaked havoc, causing extensive damage to the home despite the car not even being plugged in for charging. The fire department estimated damages at a whopping $1 million, showcasing the severity of the situation. And mind you, this wasn't just any car. It was a luxury EV, making one wonder about the safety of the more affordable options out there. Moving on to Northern Virginia's Loudoun County, tragedy struck again. A massive explosion involving an EV rocked a home in Sterling, resulting in the heartbreaking death of a firefighter and injuring over a dozen others, including civilians.
Turning now to Virginia, it has been 4 days since a deadly home explosion in Sterling that killed a firefighter and left a dozen people in the hospital.
Case number 3 takes us to a junkyard where a Tesla was innocuously kept for 3 weeks. You think that'd be safe, right? Wrong. Suddenly, the car burst into flames, leaving firefighters baffled. Despite their best efforts, the car continued to emit smoke for 6 long hours. They had to resort to extreme measures, using a tractor to dig a hole and submerge the battery pack in water. And only then did the fire subside. Can you believe it took 4,500 gallons of water to extinguish the flames?
Oh, it is a Tesla.
But perhaps the most gut-wrenching case occurred just recently, where a family tragically lost their 3 children in their beds due to their EV catching fire. Julie Hensby and her husband, David, were asleep when the fire broke out, leaving them devastated, having lost everything. And now, a video from February 2023 surfaces depicting a fire involving a Ford F-150 Lightning, adding to the growing concerns around EVs. The footage obtained through Michigan's Freedom of Information Act shows smoke engulfing 3 tightly packed electric pickups moments before flames shoot several feet high. These incidents show what many people have been talking about for some time now: the lingering risks associated with EV batteries, as they can take hours to extinguish, disrupt production, and even prompt recalls. Speaking about recalls, General Motors not long ago made headlines when they recalled about 140,000 Chevrolet Bolt EVs in North America. The recall stemmed from a potential risk where the carpet could catch fire following a crash involving the deployment of a front seatbelt pretensioner.
And General Motors is recalling over 140,000 Chevy Bolt electric vehicles. It will happen in North America because the carpet here could catch fire after a crash when a front seat belt pretensioner deploys.
To add to the gravity of the situation, in 2020, over 68,000 units were recalled due to a battery issue that could lead to a fire. Hyundai also faced its share of troubles, recalling 82,000 Kona EVs due to a faulty battery pack that posed fire risks. But wait, it's not just these 3 brands facing recalls. Even the heavyweights like Tesla, Porsche, and Jaguar have had their fair share of setbacks. Tesla, the undisputed leader in the EV world, encountered a hiccup with some of its Model 3s and Model Ys. Elon Musk's company had to contemplate recalling nearly 1.2 million Teslas due to fire risks. These cars were supposed to feature a sophisticated technology called pyrotechnic battery disconnect, designed to safeguard against fires by cutting off battery power in extreme heat situations. Shockingly, this technology wasn't even functioning in over a million of these EVs. Switching gears to Porsche, known for its luxury and performance, even they faced a moment of reckoning. Over 230 of their high-end Taycan EVs had to be recalled in Australia, highlighting that no brand is immune to fire risks associated with EVs. But what is causing these fires, you ask? Well, the answer is not that straightforward. But before we get to how EV fires start, we need to first understand the layout of an electric vehicle. Most EVs use a skateboard layout, with the battery pack mounted low down within the wheelbase. The Chevy Volt is the poster child for EV fires, so we might as well use it as an example. There are 288 cells in the Volt's 65 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery. They are bundled together in packs of 3 and connected in a parallel sequence within the battery compartment. If this battery pack is pierced, it may cause a fire. Typically, this only happens in a severe crash, but it's not always this simple. There are several factors at play, but the root cause often lies in faults or defects in the battery design, misuse of battery cells like overheating, crushing, penetration, or overcharging, or collisions. A damaged or misused battery cell gets short-circuited, setting off a chemical reaction that produces toxic and flammable gases, along with a significant amount of heat. This heat kickstarts what we call thermal runaway. Here's how it works. EV battery packs contain hundreds, sometimes thousands of tightly packed individual battery cells. When one cell goes awry, the heat can spread to adjacent cells, causing a domino effect of failures, more heat, and the release of gases in an uncontrollable chain reaction. As thermal runaway progresses, the separator structure within the battery cell collapses, allowing the electrodes to touch. This creates an internal short circuit, ramping up the heat even more. Eventually, pressure builds up, and gases within the cell are released, either through blast caps or the bursting of pouch cells. During this process, heavy metal dust particles from the cathode may form a dark cloud, followed by a white vapor cloud as the gases carry fine droplets of the solvent. As oxygen mixes with the vapor cloud and heat continues to rise, the battery cell may ignite, potentially causing surrounding cells to follow suit. In rare instances, the vapor cloud may explode without warning, although such occurrences are unlikely. According to reports from Australian research company EV Fire Safe, only about 11% of cases describe vapor cloud explosions. Apart from the thermal runaway thing, electric vehicle or EV fires can also stem from various other causes. One significant factor is battery design faults, where issues within the battery's construction or materials can lead to malfunctions. Even minor flaws in design can escalate to major safety concerns if left unaddressed. Battery cell abuse presents another notable risk. Overheating, crushing, penetration, or overcharging of cells can compromise their integrity, potentially resulting in fires. These incidents underscore the importance of proper handling and maintenance of EV batteries to prevent such mishaps. Collisions pose a significant risk as well. Accidents can damage the battery, creating opportunities for fires to ignite. The impact of a collision can disrupt the battery's structure, leading to internal short circuits or ruptures that may trigger fires. Internal shorts, often stemming from manufacturing defects, can also contribute to EV fires. These shorts occur when internal components of the battery unintentionally come into contact, leading to short circuiting and potentially igniting the battery. External events such as punctures can pose a risk by causing electrodes to short and ignite a fire. Moreover, overcharging the battery can lead to heat-generating reactions, increasing the risk of thermal runaway and fire. Thermal design flaws at the module and pack level can also contribute to overheating, especially if cooling mechanisms are inadequate. Inadequate cooling combined with factors like short-circuiting or moisture intrusion can create conditions conducive to fire. Improper charging procedures and excessive draw of power from the battery are additional risk factors. Failure to follow correct charging protocols or drawing too much power can lead to overheating and potential fire hazards. Battery swelling and rupture, often caused by poor design or charging practices, pose serious dangers. When batteries swell or rupture, it can lead to uncontrolled contact within the battery, increasing the risk of fire. Physical damage to internal parts can create opportunities for unmanaged contact and potential fires. Ensuring the structural integrity of EV components is essential in mitigating the risk of fire due to physical damage. Now, in all of these, what is the government doing? The surge in electric vehicle fires raises concerns about governmental action, or more accurately, the lack thereof. As EVs continue to catch fire, one wonders what steps political leaders are taking to address these safety hazards. Unfortunately, instead of focusing on rectifying the issue, it appears that efforts are geared toward concealing the extent of the problem to capitalize on the EV trend. Major car manufacturers, including Ford, GM, and Tesla, have reportedly urged the Biden administration to ease its push for EVs. High cost, range anxiety, and the persistent threat of EV fires have made it increasingly challenging for the average consumer.
Time-tested tactics used to put out car fires do not necessarily work for electric vehicles. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill learned about the growing safety problem today. It's an issue CBS News investigated last summer
To embrace EV technology. Despite President Biden's ambitious plans to electrify America's roads, the reality on the ground tells a different story. Consider Ford's electric F-150 Lightning pickup, once hailed as the future of electric vehicles. However, the stark contrast between anticipation and actual sales led Ford to halt production. GM faced similar changes with its electric Silverado, prompting the company to pump the brakes on its electric aspirations. Even dealerships across the United States are struggling to sell EVs, with nearly 4,000 of them voicing their concerns to the White House. Yet the government's response to these issues remains underwhelming. Over 80% of EVs' raw materials are sourced from China, despite the country's reputation for producing low-quality EVs. Moreover, according to Consumer Reports, EVs from the 2021 to 23 model years have been plagued with nearly 80% more problems compared to traditional gas-powered vehicles. Issues with battery and charging systems, exacerbated by reliance on software, contribute to consumer dissatisfaction and safety concerns. Toyota, Honda, and Lexus continue to lead in reliability, while EV owners express reluctance to purchase another EV in the future. These findings underscore the need for caution when considering the transition to EVs. It's prudent to allow car manufacturers time to address the myriad challenges plaguing EV technology before embracing the EV revolution. As the debate over EV safety goes on, the question remains: are EVs truly safe, and would you buy one? Do let us know in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe to the channel and share this video with fellow gearheads.